Welcome, everyone, to today's episode. My name is Faith.
My name is Jennifer.
My name is Anne.
And we are out of band. In today's episode, we have two lovely ladies, the founders of WICCA, that's Valentine and Chantal, together to discuss women-led communities. So welcome. Valentine, would you like to introduce yourself?
No, I'm kidding. My name is Valentine, if you're French. I'm based in the Netherlands. I've been in cybersecurity for 5 years, I'd say. I studied cybersecurity, I studied computer science, so I've been in the world for a long time, and I have a red team and blue team background. Can go to Chantal.
Hi, I'm Chantal. I am head of operations at Zerocopter. I've been in cybersecurity for almost 5 years now, but my background is actually more marketing, years of experience design. And I'm glad to be here. Let's talk about Women in Cybersecurity Community Association.
Yay. So actually, I forgot, we have the 3 weaker ladies.
Yes.
Today, so you guys are privileged.
We're very
do you want to kick off the conversation?
Yeah, well, okay, so I'm not in it, which means I'm kind of looking in from the outside. I'd love just to know more about what you guys do, how you're organized. How did the whole thing come about?
When did you start?
I can say this one. It was a warm night in December 2018. I was with my friend Andrea Ster. She left us, unfortunately. And we were thinking, you know what would be a great idea? Women hackers. and more concretely, we wanted to have a community where we could just meet as ladies. Back then we were, I think she was still studying, or I was still, I don't know, something like this. And we were thinking to ourselves, we should have a community of ladies who can just hack things together, not in an illegal way.
Good disclaimer.
And just learn together. That idea came from seeing other women in cybersecurity groups internationally, like Black Hoodie. And we thought maybe there is something in the Netherlands. So we looked around, and the group in the Netherlands does exist. We tried reaching out. Unfortunately, they rarely did any events. And if they did events, they were more formal business events or governance-oriented events. And we wanted to really take a deep dive in the technical and do very, very highly technical stuff together. So then somebody threw the idea out there of, if there's no group, why don't you start one? So we thought, okay, this sounds a bit scary, but we set up our website, we set up a meetup group, and we just shared it on Twitter. We had quite a big base of contacts because we did a lot of conferences together, cybersecurity conferences. And when we shared it on Twitter, everybody basically reshared it. And we got a few members joining the meetup group. And for our very first meetup, we just presented our thesis. I was already working because it was at KPN, the first meetup. So I was already working there. And 30 people showed up, which was quite an impressive number.
Yeah.
We expected 10. Yeah. 30 showed, and we had pizzas, and it was great. And we got to get in touch with a lot of ladies we just had no idea existed.
Yeah.
And Chantal was there as well, even though I knew she existed from conferences. And then it just started, it just went on, and we thought having monthly meetups was a great idea. And we wanted to have topics from all colors, like blue, red, purple, and we just kept going that way. We also got a lot of visibility thanks to the Twitters. Some companies reached out to us and said, yeah, we want to do a meetup with you. And they had a ton of great research topics to show. We had FireEye that came as well, which was really, really lucky. And in the end, we just said, yeah, we're just going to keep that schedule, monthly meetups.
Mhm.
Always either a company or someone presenting on a topic in cybersecurity, and preferably a technical topic. And we tell people, like, don't be scared to go with the differential equations, because our ladies, they can get that easy. So that's a bit of the summary.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, the reason that I've kind of go, that is amazing, because I have a friend who organizes meetups in Paris, and he's been doing this for a while. And okay, it's a bit difficult. It's very difficult right now with COVID,
Yeah.
etc. But managing to kind of rally 30 people straight off the bat, like, that's, I don't know, for me, that just shows that there is a real need for, you know, a forum, a place, a thing to bring people together.
Just to add, our community is kind of like intertwined. So you'll see the same people coming back. So it's not like someone just shows up and disappears. It's
No,
a
they keep.
community.
Yeah. It's
We
really
have
a
our
community.
regulars.
Yeah.
Actually, every meetup we have sort of the same people that show, and we always have someone new as well.
Yeah.
Every meetup so far.
I mean, how do you ensure that sense of community, that actual wanting to stick around? Because I've been to meetups before, and usually the attendants are very fluctuant, like they change a lot. So how do you guys make sure that it's actually a sense of community that is present at your meetings?
I think because we also try to do things outside of the monthly meetups.
Mhm.
So when there's a conference, we try to set up a tiny WICCA meetup at a conference, so we can just have fun with each other. And also, yeah, we are looking into like a couple of other things. So for example, Discord, where we can, outside of the meetups, we can communicate with each other.
Yep.
But I actually think it's maybe also because we try to stimulate interaction during the meetup. Like, no question is silly or dumb or anything. You can ask anything.
I wanted to say that also helps that we have WICCA goodies, and that also helps. We have shirts. I think Chantal is wearing the shirt, or
No.
sorry.
You
But,
girls swag.
Yeah, we got swag, and that also helps. Like, they people come home and they have this sticker, and they're like, oh yeah, this is where I've been, and this is where I'll return.
Very
and
nice.
These bags, and I guess this also gives this feeling, this tangible feeling of like a badge. You're getting a membership badge, and that does something to the mind as well.
I mean, in the hacker community, it's all about the stickers on your laptop, right?
Yeah, and people really like the sticker for some reason.
Yeah, it is really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus I think we also tend to stay true to self, right? As in, it's not like we are meeting for official purposes. So
That's
we
what
just
I was going to ask, right?
we tend to just have fun during the meetups.
So, like,
I guess
mean,
that's
when
why.
you talk about your purpose, right? What would you kind of define yourselves as? When you get together, it's for what?
Education. I think that's the first thing that comes to mind. Really, like, instruct people and not educate them because they're lacking it, but more like this is addition to what you already know. And I was also just thinking about another thing to make people stick is also include them in our decision making. So we have surveys, like we ask our members often, like, what do you want to see? And when they're there, we're like, okay, you can share feedback and just be transparent about how we decide things, how we handle donations, for example. It's also like, just be transparent, and people will themselves, they'll come to you and say, okay, I wanna help out, just like Faith did, which was awesome.
Which is really cool. Yeah, because again, all right, I'm drawing a parallel with another organization that I know in Paris, and it's not just in security, right? So the thing about people, my experience of people, is that people love to help, right? People love to get together, you sort of, shared interest and whatever. But there seems to be like a tipping point in volunteer-led organizations in terms of you can become like a victim of your success, which is you start having like a lot of people and there's more organization, and it's sort of, okay, well, we haven't got the financing to actually make it a job, but it's kind of taking up more time than like the volunteer leaders can manage, as well as the job. Is that ever a challenge for you, like, you know, to try and kind of keep the thing going and keep life going as well at the same time?
So I mean, it's not that bad.
No, but
Yeah.
It's I mean, we are fortunate enough that we always have a meetup. Like, we always have a meetup planned, or even if we don't, we manage something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's because of connections. At least that's how it started. Like, we had at the minute we announced WICCA, we had at least 6 people that came with, we want to do a meetup with you. So we already had like the next 6 meetups planned.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been like this for a while now. And if we know that if we don't get a meetup topic, we will manage. And I guess this is just having faith that will go well. And so far, it's been going really well. And
no, and we also try to involve the. Sorry, my cat is blaring. We also try to involve the, for example, the companies that want to do a meetup with us, and we try to ask them, like, can you arrange a room where we can do the meetup? Can you arrange the pizzas? Can you arrange this kind of stuff? And then for us, the only thing to arrange is to get people there, and that makes it easier.
You're saying right now actually something that kind of triggers me, because we all know the current situation, Corona.
Yeah.
How did that influence actually your meeting arrangements and your continuation, basically?
We
online.
went global.
Yeah.
We went global.
We
Now,
went global. Yeah.
in March last year, we were a bit like, okay, let's see what happens. Oh,
He can stay, or he.
yeah.
So for people on the podcast, you're going to not have the image later. There's a wonderful cat bombing here. It's so cute.
Yeah. So March last year, we thought to ourselves, okay, what are we going to do? And moving online was not so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So we just said that, like, okay, it's going to be online. Even last year, we were planning on having a conference. Actually, we were planning for this, and we just said this, we're going to cancel until further notice.
Yep.
And I think that also helped that we just said until further notice instead of promising.
Yeah.
Because every 3 months they were coming up with it's going to be fine in 3 months, we're going to be free. But we just said, like, until further notice, and we're going to keep it online.
But that's good, because that basically means that you're open and transparent to your participants and to your community, basically.
Yeah.
And I think also with regards to the balance, we tend to be relaxed when it comes to the planning, right? We understand that life happens. It's not like there's a schedule that, hey, you need to send this event today, right? It's we just mature, or we understand that there's work that needs to be done, but it'll be done when we need to do it, because life happens.
Yeah, and if it for some reason doesn't work out, then we can skip a month. That's fine.
It's not the end of the world.
Yes. Yeah. Like, so the backup plan has always been a CTF plan, but we haven't done it yet. So
no.
Like when you're having these meetups, it sounds to me, for the one I participated in, it sounds and seems really inclusive, right? So it started off with 3 people identifying as women, but you're not excluding anybody, or are you? I mean, do you try? No. So right, anybody can come, as long as you've got like the right mindset. Everybody's welcome.
We always say we focus on the women, or people that identify as women, but anyone is welcome.
Yeah, we do have women-only meetups.
Yeah.
But most
we
of the
clearly,
time, especially when it's online, we're like, yeah, I mean,
anyone can join.
Anyone can join. They can reverse the link. They can join, but they won't do that. But yeah.
Do you?
And
Sorry.
And I think the women-only ones, it's also based on the number of people, right?
Yeah.
And if we have a tight limit, we would like to have the women first.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer, did you want to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, like, I love the fact that you guys are extremely inclusive. I also think it's good to also sometimes make a very big separation to only focus on women only for certain meetings. Do you notice a difference, for example, when you're organizing something for anyone or only for women only, or those who identify as women?
In some meetups, yes, others no. So we had meetups like the training, the offensive security training, where we were all together. That was that went perfect. And then we had another meetup where I guess some women that we know are loud, let's say, would express themselves fully. Maybe there was a bit of a awkwardness in the air, but to be fair, that was just one meetup, and for the rest, it's fine most of the time.
But it's maybe like an important point, right? So it's a little bit touchy. But I had this conversation with somebody not that long ago about, segregating things and having women-only things. I said, yeah, but there's a reason, right? Because depending on what the environment is like, it's not always easy to be yourself. I've experienced that. My very first boot camp that I went to, small group, there was like 10 of us with a trainer. The trainer happened to be a woman. But I literally had a guy sit beside me and turn to me and go, "What the hell are you doing here?" Like literally those words. And I was there and I shrank, I absolutely shrank. And it was only because I caught the eye of the instructor and she kind of went, "Nah." Like I could see in her face, "It's all right, you've got this, ignore him." That happens. And if you are already doubting yourself, if you have shaky self-worth, if you have imposter syndrome, if you have or even if you're just human, right? It doesn't matter how strong you are. If someone turns to you and says, "What the hell are you doing here?" It's never going to make you feel good. So creating a space, and I guess it is kind of, I don't know, throw it open to the group. Is it sad that we have to create a space where we have only women? Or is it normal? Is it normal and just a thing of community that it's okay and we should always have groups just for women? I don't know. Like, I'm kind of on the fence about it.
I think I wouldn't call it sad. I would call it disappointing. I think that in the ideal world, it wouldn't be necessary. But I mean, you always have communities that arise. There's like a human nature to just make a community. But maybe it wouldn't be as explicit as it is now. But I also feel that if you want to do an all-inclusive, women exclusive group, you also shouldn't shut out the outside world.
No.
And that's what we've been striving to avoid, that people feel excluded. Like, we want to say, instead of phrasing it women only, we say, okay, women first, register first, and then we open it to everybody. And that's what we've been trying to do, to just make it that others who are not women or do not identify as women don't feel excluded. So that's why we also share our content and we share what we do with everyone, so they can still feel that they are part of WICCA without being part of WICCA.
So basically inclusive, but women focused.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, which I guess that makes total sense, right? So because, like you say, just as humans, we have an affinity bias, right? We do. We congregate with people who we think are more or less like us. And I'm in France. I've actually been in France longer than I've been in Ireland. And yet, in spite of the fact that I'm in France longer than I've been in Ireland, I don't join groups of French people on WhatsApp. I join an Irish group of women. It's just, I don't know. There's just something about just like a magnetic force, I guess.
Well, for me personally, it would be more like, I've been in IT for over 10 years and in cybersecurity dedicated for over 6 years. And the one thing I can say is consistently the amount of women that I encountered was like countable on the hand. So the fact that there are groups that focus on women but are still inclusive, that would be actually really inviting for me, because that would grant me an opportunity to connect with other women, whereas I would not necessarily have that opportunity in my day-to-day work, because unfortunately most of my colleagues are male.
Yeah. And that's kind of also, we, Valentine and me, we also saw, like, in our departments, there were a few women, but we do speak a lot with maybe customers or external parties, and there we also encounter women.
Yeah.
We also went to conferences, and the people we usually encountered were each other. But we wanted to kind of like also start this group very for ourselves, so that we could connect with more women and go to these conferences with even more women. So
I think it's actually a very good intention. I mean, if that's your main driver, then that's also a good way to build a community, because it's actually personal incentive.
Yeah.
And I think it was
very selfish.
Not selfish.
A good result in the end was that, like you mentioned, I'm the only woman in my team. Chantal might be the only woman in her team. Not anymore. But I knew a lot of women. They were the only ones in their team. But at WICCA, we were all women. So they're there. Like, it's not like you're all alone. And that's what we also wanted to show the world. It's like, look, we have 600 members on Meetup. Okay, not 600.
No, it's actually 670.
Oh yeah.
We have a lot of members.
Some of them are men, but a large portion is women, and that's all women that want to or are interested in cybersecurity. Maybe not all of them are in the Netherlands, but they are interested in cybersecurity or working in the field. So for people that want to enter cybersecurity, or just even teenage girls or even little girls that think, oh, maybe cybersecurity is not where I should go because there's no women there, this proves them wrong, and this shows that, I mean, it's normal for a woman to be there too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And one thing, so I joined WICCA like 2 years ago, and the thing that kept me going is I didn't really have or I didn't really know of communities that were mostly focusing on the technical part. And that's just one buy-in that the thing that sold WICCA to me is because we would always go when it's hands-on. You learn different things always. So that's just something that just kept me going, and I got to stay.
Yeah, we do try to have like a very wide variety of meetups. I think we haven't had one recurring subject, maybe one yet, but it also proves that cybersecurity itself is very diverse. So we're lucky on that side that so many people wanted to work for WICCA as well. Like a lot of girls come to us and say, we want to contribute, we'll find you speakers, so it's really nice.
And have you, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just kind of curious, right? So I actually ended up in my current role via a group in France and Paris specifically. Not exactly the same as the way you function. They have a slightly different mission, but same thing. It's sort of a focal point to try and evangelize and help women to get into cybersecurity, make other people aware that it is totally a career option. There's less meetup and maybe more sort of ground roots activism, I think but anyway, what I'm getting at is the reason you're kind of doing this is fun, community, learning, knowledge sharing. But have you noticed at all that as you're building community, like it becomes a network? And one of the things that women often lack from a professional perspective is that kind of network catalyst. Guys are I don't know why, but guys are way better at it, right? They're way better at sort of telling each other about opportunities, putting them in contact with other people, sponsoring them, saying good things about them. Have you noticed that kind of thing is happening? That you sort of, I can see heads nodding. Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. This we also, we get a lot of messages also like we have an open position and we want maybe some of your members to apply to it. Can you please promote it and, that kind of stuff. Yeah. But also amongst the members, if someone says like, I'm looking for a job, then 5 to 10 people jump in and what are you looking for? Can I help? Maybe at my company. Yeah, so that's definitely a thing.
I remember that Valentine some time ago was trying to sell me a role from her company. So
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but in the beginning we said we don't want. In the beginning we actually didn't want to do this, or at least not be like a recruiter point to go, you know, like a recruiter
Hotspot.
Platform. Yeah.
counter office thing, something like this. But actually some members asked us like to put them in contact with some of the companies. So in the end we thought maybe we can compromise and do this kind of thing where the recruiters come to us and say, we have a position, could you please share it on your platform? And then we share it, and whoever wants to apply, they go. And we've got a couple of women that got jobs thanks to WICCA. So we're quite happy about that.
That is actually really good. I mean, it's as long as that's not the main purpose of the platform, or it can be. I mean, it depends on what kind of community you want to run, basically. But I think that as long as you just provide the opportunities and not make it the main focus of your community, then why actually not? I mean, to be honest, most men also get their network connections and get their position through that. So why not?
And we also tend to empower each other, right? I think one thing that we are at a disadvantage as women is we don't tend to talk about some of these things. And so when we're going out for interviews or negotiating, we really don't have those skills because we don't talk about it. But in a community like WICCA, you'll have people just asking like, hey, I got this and they're giving me this, what do you think? And you get advice from fellow women who are actually out there working in the same industry. So empowerment is
Jennifer's. You remember we did a session on this, right? And Jennifer's asked.
I'm very happy to hear this.
But the thing is, right, first of all, it's being brave enough to ask, but you've also got to have the people you can ask.
Yeah. No, but that's why I'm saying I'm very happy about this, because one of the things that I and you also, Faith, and you also, Anne, have encountered mostly in like working in cybersecurity and specifically working in male-dominated industries is that you sometimes can undersell yourself, and sometimes and sometimes you just can encounter a colleague who does the same work as you do and earns a heck of a lot more. Yep. So one of my things is always like, if you want to go into a new function, be open and transparent about it and ask people around, is this offer that I'm getting, is this actually a good offer, or should I ask for more, or should I get an improved offer or something? And not necessarily in monetary value, but also in like the benefits that you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Is a company good?
Yeah, also.
Yeah.
Is the culture okay to work in?
Yeah.
I have a question about the challenges that you face as a community, that we face as a community. What challenges come up with regards to organizing a women-led community?
We had it easy.
The one question we always get.
Oh, is it?
Say it.
The which one? The one with the wig?
Oh no! Yeah, no. Are you witches?
Oh yeah, are we?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that one. Okay,
yeah.
About the name. Oh.
And also a lot of men saying, "So I'm not allowed to come."
If I wear a wig, am I allowed to come?
Yeah, so right, I was going to ask that, right? Because the group in Paris gets a lot of backlash, sort of, women's group. And you get it from both men and women. The comments would be a bit different. The comments from men would be going, oh yeah, truc de bonne femme là. The thing from women is this, the Madeleine Albright said, there's a special place in hell for women who don't help other women. there are women who for some reason have had it easy in their careers and in life and just seem to think that why on earth would these women want to get together? And they, okay, my opinion, I don't know, but it does a lot of damage. You don't have to join in, right? If it's not your thing, by all means, don't join in, but don't slam it. And I have heard some really, really nasty comments coming from women about women-led organizations saying that they're irrelevant, they're unnecessary, they're a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm just kind of going, okay, don't join in, but like, why crush other people's thing, you know?
Why be so negative?
Yeah.
We haven't had, at least not to our faces. Maybe there have been nasty comments from both sides, but we haven't heard any. Maybe you have, Chantal.
Well, but I think it's a little bit different for us because we do not exclude the men. Like if they want to join, they can.
Yeah.
And we also it's not exclusive to women speakers also. Like if a man has something, they can teach us and they're really good at it and they have an awesome, like 2 months ago, no, last month we had men, but they did an awesome job in teaching us something. So that's fine. Like
we don't go looking for just women presenters, right? We think of a topic. Yeah, we think of a topic and we're like, we want to learn malware reversing. Who do we have? And then they're, you know, Valentine will say something, Faith will say something, Chantal will say something, and it could be a woman, it could be a man.
Yeah.
So right now we're looking for assembler. So
yeah, please.
Anyone wants
That's been a problem.
Any volunteers?
No, yeah, the name was one thing. Actually, in terms of sponsorship.
Really?
They some companies don't want to give the WICCA name, so we just say write it out, and then it's fine. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, interesting. And I saw at one day, I will always remember that comment. Someone came up to me and said, "I love what you're doing, love the community, but hate the name." And I was like, "Okay."
Wow.
Thanks.
Wow.
And yeah, so there's something with the WICCA name that people don't like.
Yeah, but
witches.
The witches connotation. So religious people are kind of against that. Yeah.
I wouldn't take it too much too hard to do.
Oh no, definitely not. We're not going to change the name. No.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. But you're right with saying that we are not exclusive. We also make it explicit that everybody's welcome to join. So I guess that might be why.
Do you ever? I'm cutting Faith off again. I'm gonna shut up.
No, go.
I wanted to change to sponsorship actually. And do you have something that was okay? So with regards to sponsorship, let's touch upon that a little bit. How easy is it, or has it been, to get sponsors?
Okay, right now we've not looked for sponsors actively yet. It's right now everything we've had comes from our members. And KPN. Special thanks to KPN that sponsored the stichting, the making into a official association. But for the rest, we've had companies come to us say, "How much do you want?" So I guess it would be easy on that end, but right now everything's on hold. And
were there strings attached to that if they came with such an offering?
Yeah, we have clear rules amongst ourselves about that. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, they understand.
Yeah.
And most often, from what I've understood, is that they have a diversity budget. And those budgets are no strings attached.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but yeah, we always want to thank them. Like, of course, you give us money for us to run. We're going to thank you with, we're going to talk about you publicly, you know, we're going to be like, thank you, whoever. But we're also, if our members want, we connect them with the company. So that's all like the opt-in thing. We say this company is sponsoring us. Would you like to know about their opportunities, career opportunities, and then we put them in touch with them.
I think that's actually fair, or at least it would seem to me. I mean, you're going to a sponsored event, and it would make sense to at least be open to it, being in contact with them or not, or at least having that possibility to do so.
Yeah. But it definitely, we ask our member, we're not going to force our sponsors on our members. So we ask them. And also, we definitely, we're all up for thanking our sponsors and thanking them for the work we do. They do for us, but we're not going to be a commercial machine for them or anything.
It's a good line to draw.
Yeah.
It sounds just like you've got a really fun group, right, of people who join in, who contribute. Have you ever had situations where you have, because it sometimes happens, right? I see it on WhatsApp groups or whatever, that you have behavior, you kind of go, okay, no, that's not okay, and that you have to intervene. Does it ever happen?
Little bit. But we are always frank, and we also try to practice compassion. Like if someone is feeling bad that day, it's fine. But we don't want people bad mouthing each other. So if there is a conflict between two people, we will help resolve it. And otherwise, we're like, your discussions, you take them out of the meetup. And but we are, I mean, even between us, like if we have to make a decision, like sometimes you hear groups fall apart because the team just fell apart. And we want to avoid that. And that's why we wanted a team of 3, because you can always make a decision if we vote. And we all,
tiebreakers.
Yes.
No, but like it sounds, I'm kind of blowing smoke at you here right now, but genuinely, it sounds really, really great, because you're not just role modeling like women and technical skills and knowledge sharing and learning and the whole growth mindset thing. You're role modeling mature human skills, right? Which no, because like I talk about this with people so often. It's stuff that, God, we should be learning it in school, right? They're absolutely essential skills, and people kind of label them soft. No, these are sort of like the bedrock that make life work or not. And you get a big group of people together. There could be a tendency for there to be infighting or whatever, any kind of bad behavior. But if you manage to keep the best of people, and even when there are problems, have, like you say, practice compassion and find a way to just keep the thing really, really healthy, even when there might be conflict, that's just really great.
But that's something that should be like normalized in any type of group, because to be honest, I've been in women in tech focused groups where quite the opposite happened actually, and where I've been in situations where the whole WhatsApp group just was a bickering between several members, and where I was like, okay, never mind, I love the cause, but I just don't want to be a part of this anymore. Bye guys.
Yeah, but that's why we try to stay away for a long time from a chat platform, because anything can be thrown in there.
Yeah.
In the end, because we had a lot of demand for a Discord, we decided to do it, but only with people we know. I mean, you need to be invited, and of course we're open. If you want to join, you can join, but like we need to start thinking rules and stuff. And as much as we are it's a bit awkward to like enforce rules. You feel like a parent.
But it's kind of necessary in certain situations.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and we also, I mean, in our discussions, we also try to stay away from politics and away from touchy subjects. So we always make it clear that we are here to have fun, and that's why we also never really, like, this is maybe the first time we openly talk about the women only issues, these kind of things, because we're like, yeah, we just want to have fun with our members and learn stuff together and not debate all night. It's not what it's about. So that's why.
So if people want to find you, like people are going to be listening to this going, man, I want to be part of that. How can people find you?
we have Twitter, we have a website, we have Meetup. Meetup is the platform to sign up for events. I don't know if you.
Let's mention the website. It's
We also have
women.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We also have LinkedIn. Yes. The website is womenofwicca.nl, and there you can find
Everything.
us everything. Yeah.
And WICCA is with CC, right?
CC. Yeah.
Like the witches.
Exactly. Just
Yep.
spelling it out for the listeners.
In the show notes, right?
Absolutely. We're gonna link you guys.
Cool.
Fair enough. Also looking a little bit at the time, because we're almost at the end of our scheduled session. Is there anything you ladies want to still share experience-wise or comment-wise, or just like throwing it out in the open?
Last words.
Exactly.
The only thing I can think about is a bad crypto joke from Valentine, but
Go ahead. Tell
Do
my joke.
share. Do
no,
share.
I don't have it. No, I don't know it by heart.
No, that was why did the financial advisor die of metal poisoning? Because he Bitcoin.
Oh,
That was my crypto joke.
It is bad, but it's good.
No, but I think what I would like to share is more that I mean, it's not creating a women-only community is not going to fix the problem. It is going to help make it better, make the situation better, but we need to start small. So I started children, I think, like show them that the hacker is not a person with a hoodie and glasses. It can be a woman, it can be a guy with super beefy guy, stuff like this. So, like it's just get rid of the stereotypes. I think that would fix
No
a lot
fear,
of problems.
uncertainty, doubt.
Yeah, and encourage people to just show their skills. Like, don't be afraid to show your skill, and if you want something, ask for it. Just like basic stuff.
I love
Like,
that.
asking that would be like the tip to someone who's like,
Especially for women.
yeah,
If you want something, ask for it.
in your job, like your manager's not going to fire you if you say I would like this. The offer is not going to go away if you say I want more.
Mhm.
So just
Oh,
ask.
that's a good one. That's a good line.
It's very simple, but it's hard to do, but it's very simple.
It takes some guts to be able to pull that off.
and practice. Gets easier with practice.
Yeah, I guess easier. You get desensitized and then you end up a psychopath, a CISO somewhere with billions of dollars. No, that's not what she did. Faith, last words?
Join us.
Very good last words. Then, ladies, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today and showing your wonderful organization, your wonderful association. For the people interested in joining, we will link all the community pages and whatnot in our descriptions. And yeah, for now, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, share, and if you want to join us like these two lovely ladies and talk about a topic that you guys are really interested in or want to share with the world, contact us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.